Yeah. Never dispose of the pen, I'm at it again, we close to the end. The older I get, emphatic I am. They try to pretend, they try to be friend, wreak havoc instead. Look at the trends, can't comprehend my dramatic ascent. I'm heavenly sent, they try to condemn. Ladies and gentlemen, I am the man. Yeah, different vision but the same goes. Big collision off the main road, that's the beaten path where my brain goes. Fuck the devil's wrath off my halo. Hella stones, no Thanos. Hella gold, no rainbow. This is hella genius in my brain lobes. Hella gross as far as revenue goes. Bought me a net for these Benjamins though. You not a threat, you an enemy though. Broke me a sweat, killing enemies slow. Body offset, all these feminine flows. Hardly upset, but you testing me though. All of these stats are depressingly low. Why your girl think I'm a specimen though? Drones and them perks is my medicine though. There's no
what's going on, fam?
America,
Hello. What's up, William? Oh, on the YouTubes. Oh, hello. What's going on, Beesh? What's up, Bill? What's going on, bro? What up, son? What up, son? Drums are so loud that they breaking the chassis. King of the grass like I'm Lionel Messi. I am not crass, but my mental is messy. Come on in, come on in. What up, Swole? What up, Cody? What up, bruh?
This shit crazy.
Whole lot of new money, whole lot of new bands, all kind of new hundreds, hell not to new friends, whole lot of new money, whole lot of new bands, all kind of new hundreds, hell not to new friends, whole lot of new money, whole lot of new bands, all kind of new hundreds, hell not to new friends, whole lot of new money, whole lot of new bands, all kind of new hundreds. My day ones know I post up, so just come through. If you say nothing, you glow up, she can come too. Can't say nothing when he choked up, so just cut him loose. We stay calm when we froze up, that's what diamonds do. Yeah, new island, stay coasting. Can't find it, stay ghosting. My silence is smoking, outshining the ghosting. Headlining the show then, reclining my throne and fine dining, you know it. Deep diving that whoa, I'm the ruler, I'm known. All of my shooters stay closed, all of my jewelry cold, all of my Ubers are dope. Lex Luthor my role model, one queen and I throw models. So wet that I need goggles, all business and no drama. They praying for my downfall. Hell nah, the new friends.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Testing, 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 testing. Test, test, test. Testing, testing, testing. Testing testicles, testing testicles, testicles. Welcome everyone to episode 1163 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular swolecast, beercast, broadcast, gamecast, mancast, pimpcast, sleazecast, and slaycast in the realm, because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. What is up, yas beaches? What's up, ya booshes? Welcome to episode 1163. What's up? What's going on? The all-inclusive podcast where you can say whatever the fuck you want. You can wear whatever you want. You don't even have to wear a fucking shirt. And for those of you that think I should be wearing a shirt, go fuck yourself. You can go and wear a shirt somewhere. You can go. You can go wear a shirt. Go. You can go wear a shirt. Go. Be well. Be well. Be free. Be free. Off with you. Shoo. Shoo. you can go wear a shirt. I can't pinch my nips effectively if I'm wearing a shirt. Anyway, what's going on, everyone? If you're watching on Instagram, what up, what up? If you want to catch the visuals, I will be having a couple of things pop up on the screen. Make sure you're also subscribed to my second channel, the podcast channel on YouTube, Daily Swole Podcast. Make sure I'm putting links in the bio and in my Instagram stories, because I think a lot of you didn't realize I have a second channel, but that's the podcast channel. So if you want to watch over on YouTube, it's fucking fire. It's awesome. I love the YouTube peeps and I love the Facebook peeps. I love all y'all. Let's see. I had some interesting shit going on earlier today when I was going to stream. It said, because obviously I'm streaming on multiple platforms, I got an alert, or it showed up. It said streaming has been paused or restricted for this channel. So I didn't think I was going to be able to stream on YouTube, and I couldn't link the stream for a while earlier today out of nowhere. So just in my dashboard for my multi-streaming, it said your channel is locked or something. I'm like, oh my God, what the fuck did I say? Is YouTube trying to get into my podcast now? Are they, trying, or are they upset by some of the things that I've said? Which is probably fine. But if YouTube isn't upset already by what I've said, I don't know if there's anything else that I could say. I don't think I can take it. I guess I could take it to another level, but I don't think I need to. But at the same time, it's like, shit, if they haven't had a problem already, why would they have a problem now? Anyway, got it figured out. So the Houdini times 3, yeah, this is from the social issue that I wanted to talk about, social responsibility with health. We're going to talk a little bit about Tess Holliday and a video that a lot of you follow. Myself on YouTube, you follow Alan at Every Damn Day Fitness, you follow Michelle. My thoughts may offend you. A lot of you have been commenting, and she actually posted a video today based on something that Tess Holliday made recently. And the reason why there's a group of us, the reason why we talk about these issues, it's not to make fun. Again, it's not to make fun of obesity. It's not the fact that, hey, you're overweight, look at you, you fat fucking whale. That's not what anyone's saying. It's the health components. And like I've been discussing on recent podcasts, we need to bring back health and fitness, and fucking all the podcasts. We need to bring back health and fitness to actual health and fitness. It needs to be about longevity. It needs to be about health. It needs to be about fucking health and fitness. Why is it so fucking hard to understand? Here is something that happened now that everyone's coming in. So if you're on Instagram, you're not going to see it. You can go over on the YouTube channel. But what was happening is let's see here. Let me see if I can switch here. All right. So this video that Michelle McDaniels made, I believe I said her name correctly. Tess Holliday comes out as pansexual. Now, if you don't know what the fuck pansexual is, no one does. So it's okay. It just means like you like anything. You don't discern between genders. So you're not bisexual, you're pansexual, which means I guess you just don't see the difference or something. I don't know. Okay. It's not a big deal. The whole point of me bringing this up, and she made the video on this, but I had a little bit more of an aggressive opinion, but I want to get this fucking out there because it's important. Remember what I said about Madeline Georgetta in the recent video that I posted, that when she and Alan were having the conversation, and the previous videos I was making before, because these people, these icons, fitness influencers in general, have a massive, massive following. Okay. They have a massive following, millions of followers, millions of people that support their shit. And when you have people that support you, there's a lot of stuff people let slide. They just support it. They go along. So when you attach these other issues, the actual message gets blurred. And the reason why this is important is because I think we can all understand. I think we can all agree. I hope we can agree. And I feel like this is what's going on with the trend. As much as it seems like it's getting more extreme and people are just saying even more random, ridiculous shit, I feel like it's burning out. I don't know. Drop in the comments below. Do you think that fat acceptance is burning out? I feel like because of all the videos that we are all making, Alan, myself, I feel like there's such a strong support against this and for common sense and for fucking actual facts and health. I think it's just, a lot of hot air. And I do agree with when people say that it's just a bigger deal on social media than it is in real life. And I feel that way too. But at the same time, it's because we interact with far more people online than we do in real life. When I talk to all of you and we have the podcast and I post on Instagram and I'm in the comments interacting with fucking like 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000 people a day easily. And this is like also the people that see my stuff that I don't have a conversation with, because thousands of people listen to the podcast and download videos and I don't have an interactive conversation, but they're hearing my words. So we are having this conversation and it seems like it's front and center because it is front and center. When it reaches your phone and your phone is the only thing that you're looking at, you have a little 5-inch screen. So whatever's on there is the shit, is what's going on. That's like the news that's trending. So if something gains a lot of steam, you might not interact with it personally in your life. You might not go to the gym and people are saying, it's beautiful to be fat. You're not going to see it everywhere around you. But when you're on your phone, the virtual world, it's everywhere. And my approach is, it's not fucking healthy. Straight up, it's not fucking healthy. Period. End of story. It has nothing to do with subjective, how you look. Oh, do you like, some people like, come on, guys, some guys like fat women. They're called chubby chasers. Come on, you've heard that before. Come on, right? Come on, play with me here. Chubby chasers. Some guys like fat women. Tess Holliday, I believe, is married. Fine. If he likes her, I'm happy if they have a great relationship. I don't give a fuck. I don't care what you like. I don't care if you like to suck dick, if you don't want to suck dick, if you like men and women, both trans. It doesn't matter. That's preference. That's off the topic. What happened recently with the Madeline Georgetta thing is this attachment of being healthy at every size, that movement, fat acceptance, attaching it to those types of gender equality movements, because you have actual movements of people that are trying to find acceptance, so not getting discriminated against and feeling comfortable when they go outside that they're not going to get assaulted, right? If you're trans or this, that's fine. That's absolute fine. And when you attach fat acceptance, obesity, and healthy at every size to that movement, it's people's like clawing to try to get some more validity for that movement. People are trying, they're clawing, and they're trying to attach it to every other legitimate movement in order to gain traction because it's falling out beneath them. The fat acceptance movement, it's losing steam, in my opinion. It's fucking falling apart. There's really no substance. And the more that we make videos and talk about it, the more it just sounds ridiculous. But we have to get the word out there, because if someone's making a video saying you can be healthy at every size and they're broadcasting it to 5 million fucking people, it's our part. We have to give the other argument. We have to fucking break through this just mindless acceptance that is the truth. Because when you're following someone, you might believe everything she says. You might just take everything she says at her word and follow that crap, but it's killing people. There's health consequences. It's actually hurting people. It's not fitness. It's not health, and it's not true. So when she came out recently, I guess this happened early July, but Michelle made a video. She made a video about Tess Holliday coming out as a pansexual, and it's based on this article. Hold on, that was oversized, no pun intended. Where Tess, it was some bullshit story that said that someone came up and asked her, like a waiter came up to her in Mexico and asked her if she's bi. And then she said, "Thank you so much for asking. I've been thinking a lot about my relationship to my own queerness, and I think the word pansexual speaks to me more than bi does." And then the guy said, "Thank you for telling me that, but actually I said, are you buying?" As if the waiter meant to ask her, "Well, what would you like to eat? What would you like to drink?" And she just answered like, "Oh, I've been," just answers with her sexuality preference. Get the fuck out of here. This is grabbing at straws. This is the example of someone who is addicted to being popular, addicted to being in the limelight. This is someone who is scratching for some other validity in her psychosis in order to push her agenda. She's jumping from one movement to the next. That's literally what it is. And today's episode is titled Social Responsibility for Health for a fucking reason, because we need to take responsibility for our health as a society. It's not, we can't let this just slide and let people continue this narrative. Free speech is great. She's welcome to say what she wants, but we have to make sure that the conversation also balances out. We have to balance out the scale. We have to make sure that people understand like what is going on inside these quote influencers' heads? This is all about attention. Social media is about attention. You have to get someone's attention to be able to tell them your story. And when you are attaching this type of social acceptance for being obese, real actual, like just lack of health, it's not good for you. And then attaching it to another agenda to legitimize it, that's a bad thing. That's a dangerous thing. I mean, how do you know all of a sudden, like, oh, I'm not bi, I'm pansexual? What the fuck does that mean? The more extreme you can be, the more fringe you can be, the more hardcore you are, the more legitimacy you get with those groups. Because if you're more hardcore than the next person, oh shit, you're really legit. You're not even just bisexual, you're fucking pansexual. And then everyone's like, what the fuck does that mean? And it just makes you seem like it just makes you seem really fucking activated, right? It makes you seem really legit because you're that much more extreme. And it's doing damage. So I have to come in and I have to talk about this because it is doing damage, and it's subtle damage. And even if 5 people hear this, and they believe it, that's 5 people that are getting garbage, bullshit, fucking trash information. It's bullshit information. And I agree, D2H on YouTube. Why are you comparing other real groups to the obesity movement? Are you talking about me or are you talking about Tess Holliday? The problem is she is, latching it on. And it's not the same thing. Fat acceptance has no place in our culture. It's one thing if you like to be fat. It's one thing if you like fat people, if you are attracted to that. That's preference. That's called sexual preference. That's okay. You can have sexual preference. I don't think anyone here is against someone else for being sexually attracted. How can you be against it? How can you be against sexual preference? If you're gay, if you're a lesbian, if you are transsexual, like, okay, fine. Do you have a gun to my head? Are you forcing me to be? No, then fine. Go have fun. Like, go marry and be and live. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. It's really not. Let people do what the fuck they want to do. If they're not causing me harm, then fucking go. It's weird. People get into other people's fucking business. And I know we talk about a lot of stuff here in my videos. Like, I get into people's business. We all kind of do, but it's also called communication. It's called having an opinion. It's called sending out a message. But I think the message with all of our content and with all of just fitness and fitness providers and fitness experts, fitness influencers, understand that the social responsibility for health lies on us, the creators, and also you all, the audience. You have to understand that when you are following someone, when you are commenting, when you're supporting someone, you're giving credibility, you're giving validity to the things that they're saying. You have a voice too. You might not want to have a social media company. You might not want to make a ton of content, but you're engaging in the dialogue. The comments are important. When you hit the like button, it's important. When you hit the share button, you're blasting it to a lot of people that could be affected. So what kind of message are you sharing? What are you facilitating? What are you promoting? What are you allowing the algorithms to lock onto and see like, oh, people support this. Let's promote that. Like, we have to have the balanced message and the balanced conversation. But sexual preference, what you're attracted to, some people are attracted. Some people might look at this. Look at this fucking coffee mug. Look at that. Yeah, that's right, bitches. It's a fucking hydro flask. Some people might get off on this. Some people might want to take the top off, fill it with KY jelly, and fuck the hell out of this thing. Some people might be sexually attracted to hydro flasks. Fine. Just don't do it around me. Go buy your hydro flasks and then stay in your home and then fuck the shit out of them. Like, fine, do whatever you want with them, but just do them on your time and your preference. Does that mean we have to, we don't need a movement for everything. You should be able to enjoy and to express yourself the way you want to. It's called freedom of speech. But freedom of speech also has to have checks and balances. And freedom of speech is under attack when it's assumed that if I'm talking out against obesity, I'm talking out against fat acceptance, I'm not talking out against fat people and them and their personality. These movements want you to think that if you don't like their movement, if you're against fat acceptance, if you're against body positivity for obesity, if you're against healthy at every size, if you're against that, then you're against them and you're racist or you're sexist, you're a terrible person. So if you attach those movements onto LGBT and other rights, well, then you hate everyone. You're a mean person and you want everyone fucking dead or thrown in cages. You understand what I'm saying? If you attach it, it's like you're against one, you're against all of them. And I just see this so fucking much. I see this so fucking much, and it's scary because you cannot lump them. They're not the same. One is a subjective opinion. One is causing fucking diabetes, heart disease, metabolic syndrome, major issues, amputations, blindness. When you're obese, it's fucking dangerous. That has nothing to do with whether or not you like dick. That has nothing to do with whether or not you think you're a woman or you think you're a dude or you want to be a pansexual and you want to, I don't know, you want to go swim with the fish and fucking be, I don't know, Little Mermaid sexual. A mermaid, I don't know. I'm just trying to make shit up. Who knows? I'm sure there is some kind of like mermaid fetish thing. You get my point? You catch it? You catch my drift, beaches? Yeah, that's fucking weird. It's fucking weird. It's weird. You can't attach that. It's not the same fucking thing. It's not the same thing. However, this type of social activism, it kind of makes it, blurs the lines, and it's dangerous because people are losing track of all these different movements. There's so many different movements. How can you keep it organized? How can you keep it organized? And on the board, I have Houdini ×3 because she's a manipulator, misdirection. Hey, you know, with fat acceptance and obesity, I'm getting a lot of shit for it, but now I'm pansexual. That's what Tess Holliday says. So now I'm pansexual. So it's misdirecting. It's misdirecting from the truth. It's misdirecting from her real agenda. And if it's not working, how easy is it just to bring attention to something else? Well, now I'm on this agenda. Fat acceptance isn't working out for me. I'm getting a lot of pushback. It's not really catching on. So let me go pansexual. I'm not even going to be gay. I'm not even going to be trans. I'm going to go pansexual because that's a little bit more extreme. And then it might garner me a headline, which it did. It got an article on earlier in July and stuff like that. And again, that video that Michelle made over on YouTube was great. It was great. And it touched upon a lot of the topics and the points that I made. But I saw that title and I saw the beginning. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. She is just pulling at strings to try to get more attention. But at the same time, we all have to understand that's what it's all about. Social media is about attention. Look, I'm trying to grab your attention too. You hear that? Yeah. Thor smashes his mighty hammer. Yes. He's saying, Tess Holliday, you fucking beesh. Yeah. Nice thunderstorm just happened. So hopefully this doesn't cut out and all that. So I want your attention too. It's interesting right here on like the live stream. I have the little eye logo and how many people are watching on Instagram. So I want your attention because if I don't have your attention, I can't talk to you. I can't tell you what I think. But at the same time, I'm not trying to push any agendas that aren't about fucking health. If you're obese, you're not healthy, man. You're not fucking healthy. If you're obese, you're not healthy. It's just, that's it. You're not healthy. You could be healthier. Does it mean if you're obese that you have a fucking major disease? No, it doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean you're automatically going to have a disease. It does not. It does not mean you're automatically, but that's what that group would make you believe. Healthy at every size. Well, you can be healthy. You can be, of course. Of course. There are people that do everything. There's something for everyone. Everyone's healthy at different things. Some people are contortionists and can bend and can twist in all fucking ridiculous positions. Does that mean that's normal? No. Does it mean that every obese person is guaranteed to get diabetes, is guaranteed to have a heart disease, is guaranteed to have high blood pressure, is guaranteed? No, it doesn't. That's why these movements fucking start up. But it doesn't mean that it's a safe thing to promote. It doesn't mean that it's okay. And my problem with this social acceptance and the issue with this, I think truly comes down to our lack of ability to speak out against it without getting backlash. People on news networks, people at jobs, if you say anything about someone's body weight or obesity, if you say anything like this in a corporate structure, you're fucking fired. It happens all the time. Drop that in the comments below if you've seen something recently where someone said something slightly wrong and you're out instantly. Instantly, even if you didn't say anything bad, someone didn't like the way you looked at them, you're fucking fired. That's it. You fucking send a text message that someone screenshots and all of a sudden you're fucked. I keep saying what I feel because I want to make it clear when people come to this content, I'm going to say what I fucking think. I'm going to give my opinion. And look, it's still my opinion. Of course it's biased. It's coming from me. It's coming from my fucking mouth and my thoughts and my observations. However, I'm trying to keep this all about longevity and actual health and fitness. And if you're going to come and cross into Papa Swole's territory and pretend like this type of excessive body fat is healthy, socially acceptable, man, maybe the image of women is changing. Maybe we're going back to more thicker, larger women. Fine. That's fine. That's called sexual preference. That's not health. You can still enjoy and be sexually attracted to overweight women or overweight men. It doesn't mean that they're not going to get diabetes and they're not going to, you might have a short relationship with that person or be pushing around in a wheelchair. You better really love injecting them with fucking insulin. That's kind of like, or managing their insulin. You know what I'm talking about, right? So that's where this is going. You can't cross them up. This is not it's a social issue because it's a strain on the economy. This is a social issue because people are dying. And this is a problem because when you think or you're promoting this message to millions of people, I don't have 5 million followers or whatever Tess Holliday has, on Instagram alone. If you have this massive audience of people that are these are people that are very, very, vulnerable to the words that you're using. People are vulnerable to this shit. This is not light language. A lot of people don't want to take responsibility. That's why we have to. It's a social responsibility. Because we're all at risk. We're all at risk for these issues. We're all at risk for dealing with this from a financial standpoint, from a social standpoint. We have to have that conversation and bring it back towards longevity because it's not going in the right direction. Like we have to be able to talk. We have to be able to speak. Why can't we speak? Why can't we talk about this? Why can't we have an opinion and not worry about losing our job? So here's what's happening with the social status of this. People are afraid to talk because they don't want to lose their job. So then they don't talk. They keep it inside. They say yes, they nod. Oh, I can't say anything. I'll lose my job. Sure. Okay. I agree with that. Sure. Okay. Sure. They follow along the bouncing ball and it keeps on moving to this extreme where you can't say anything different. You can't wear anything different. You can't act any way different. You have to agree with them or you're out. That's why these extreme left movements are very dangerous because if you're not with us, you're against us, which isn't always true. I agree with a lot of social issues, right? Like whatever you want, like sexual preference, fine. Do whatever you want. Call yourself whatever you want, fine. Just don't force anyone else to say something. You can't force language from people. You can't force someone to say something. That's a dictatorship. You can't force someone to say a word. That's super fucking dangerous. Don't force me to say anything. You can call yourself what you want, but I shouldn't be forced to fucking say it. I'll say whatever the fuck I want. I'll call you whatever I want. And if I feel like calling you what you want, then I'll call you what you want me to call you. We have to go back to that. We have to make sure that we are keeping our freedom of speech and its expression. And this is like one of those checks and balances. You can't let these little movements and these things kind of gnaw away at the fabric. So these kind of things might seem like fringe. They might seem, docile or low impact. They might not seem like a big deal, but then all of a sudden they grow and get out of control. And then what happens? Then all of a sudden, no one can say anything. No one can say anything. And then then we're out. Then we're trapped. We can't let these things grow. This is the mentality that's very, very dangerous. It's very dangerous to let this expand and to grow. So this article, again, this is, if you haven't checked out this video over here, let me go back up to it. This is one of the videos, the ones, My Thoughts Will Probably Offend You from Michelle McDaniel. And a lot of you follow me, you follow her, you follow Alan, you follow a bunch of similar channels. We make content on this. So her latest video explains a little bit more. And I thought it was more recent when I saw her video. I didn't realize this article came out July 1st or something like that. But sometimes this bullshit, who reads those fucking articles? Who sees those things? Sometimes it takes maybe a few days or a week for it to kind of circulate around and get some attention. And then you got to make a video on it. So who knows how long she was thinking about making a video on it. But this is an issue that's been going on for a while. And it's obviously spreading. It's obviously a message that resonates with people. But why? Why does this resonate with people? Why does fat acceptance resonate? Why does healthy at every size resonate? I think it's because people don't want to take responsibility for their actions. People don't want to take responsibility for being in their situation. They're in denial that this is actually a real issue. If you're not sick now, you can kind of I can't imagine being sick, so I'm never going to get sick. I'm never going to, have these issues. But you're in denial, and all of a sudden you wake up and you have diabetes and you have major issues. People don't want to go outside their comfort zone. That's true. People don't want to take responsibility for their own health. They feel like they can just I guess, push it off onto, oh, there's the food companies and this, oh, it's society. And if you join a movement and you join fat acceptance and you believe that shit and you kind of buy into that indoctrination, that ideology, you don't have to work out. You no longer have to take responsibility. You no longer have to train. You no longer have to take care of your body because that movement actually promotes not doing it. It promotes the fact that you can do whatever the fuck you want. You can eat junk food. You can go dance around outside, butt ass naked, 400 pounds, eating a fucking piece of pizza and post on Instagram. You're a wonderful person. You love yourself. And they're blurring the fact and they're blurring those ideas of loving yourself, of being a valuable person, of being a good person, and being a compassionate person with health. And that's where you have to separate it. I'm not saying anything about personality. I'm not saying anything about if they're nice, if they're mean. It has nothing to do with your self-worth. You should self-respect. You should respect yourself. You should have self-respect and take care of your body. It's not your own, it's you only live once. YOLO, motherfuckers. You only live once. Now you only live once, so you should probably take care of yourself. You should probably take care of yourself. You should probably take care of this one life that you have. That's what I think. I think you should take care of yourself. You only got one chance or one spin around the track. You got to take care of yourself. Recognize. You can still enjoy yourself. Why can't you make good choices? Why can't you make better choices? Why can't you love your health and do the best you can? Not everyone's destined to have a six-pack. Having really thin skin and having very little subcutaneous fat is not a measurement of health. However, having excess body fat is definitely a measurement of lack of health. You're not taking care of yourself. People that eat healthy and exercise regularly, they're not obese. Why? Because you're exercising, you're utilizing calories. You're not engorging. You're not just slamming calories and just eating everything in fucking sight all the fucking time. Very few people have hormone issues that are restricting them from losing weight. Very few people. Very few people are having real issues like that. And a lot of times those thyroid issues come from years of abuse and years of food abuse and years of just fucking yourself up with food until you have a permanent problem. And now you need thyroid hormones and stuff like that. And then you just fuck yourself up. So it's important to recognize a lot of these issues that are, now I need medication, I just can't lose weight because of this issue, comes from the lack of health, comes from this lack of awareness and action for decades, whether it was your parents that raised you on junk food and you perpetuated that for the next 10, 20 years after you left the house, whatever it is. But a lot of these issues aren't just genetic from birth. In those cases, those are extreme circumstances. And, I have empathy for those people, but this is not a message for them. This is for people that literally walked into this gradually over time. And it happens. It happens over the course of 10, 20, 30 years. You lose 5 pounds, or you gain 5 pounds a month or 5 pounds a year. Let's say 5 pounds a year, 10 years, 50 pounds, 20 years, 100 pounds. That's a lot of weight. And it's not that much from year to year. You don't notice it until all of a sudden you're 100 pounds overweight. Oh shit. Oh shit. And yeah, you don't hear that. Does anyone hear that? That's a good question. That's a good comment. I've talked about this before. You don't hear and you don't see from obese men. I don't know any obese men that are part of a fat acceptance movement. Does anyone know of any prominent overweight men that are hashtag fat acceptance? I haven't seen one. I literally have not. I'm not saying they don't exist. I'm sure they do. But obviously, it's not a popular approach. I wonder why. Max on Instagram, Swole, I've wrestled from a young age and all the way to the collegiate level. I think it messed up my hormones from the restrictive eating and intense weight loss. Yeah, fucking weight loss is brutal. Managing weight and cutting weight is really, really horrific, especially for kids. Football's dangerous. Weight cutting's dangerous. Weight cutting's dangerous for adults, let alone for high school and shit. There's a big male model. I'm sure there's one or two. I'm sure there's someone that wants attention so fucking bad. So bad. I need love. I need people to love me. I need you to love me. Love me. Am I worthy? Am I worthy? I agree. I think it's a female thing. I don't see guys that are promoting this in a big way. Women are more reduced to their looks, so I think fat acceptance partly tries to address this issue. I agree with that, but at the same time, it doesn't address that at all. It tries to put an arm around everyone's shoulder. You put an arm around someone's shoulder and they feel, okay, cool. I can hang with these people. They love me for who I am. I don't have to lose weight. I can just be me and I can eat whatever I want. This is like saying to a drug addict that, oh, you're cool. You're cool. Heroin's fine for you. You can have as much heroin as you want. It's not like we have a heroin epidemic in this fucking country. It's not like we have issues with amphetamines in this country. I mean, for fuck's sake, people have a lot of issues. So when you have fat acceptance and you're allowing people to just eat whatever they want and you're not focusing on food quality, people are just there are drugs on every corner. It's like having heroin everywhere or cocaine everywhere. People are they can access it. Every fast food place, every restaurant, every gas station, you have endless access to these drugs, to these foods and these sources that you're addicted to. It's very dangerous. It's a rough situation. It's a very rough situation, and it's not easy to talk about it in public. It's easy for me because I don't give a fuck. I will say what I feel. I will say what I have to say. I will get my point across. This is why I do what I do. I want to have my voice and I want to put it out there. And I want to have this conversation on a public forum such as the podcast. But a lot of people can't do that. And I recognize that a lot of people can't have that conversation. A lot of people aren't able to at their work. They're not able to with their friends. They're not able with their inner circle. They're not able to because they're not supported by people around them. And they're in a situation where if they talk out, they'll lose their job. And when you have your food and your family and your mortgage and things on the line, you're going to toe the line. You're going to nod yes, like a good boy or a good girl, and you're just going to go along with it. And it gets to the point where you can't stand against it anymore. And this is how like dictatorships rise. This is how that, extreme left communism, this is how that kind of stuff infiltrates. But with social media, we just have so many different sections and we don't see it necessarily at a political level always, but we're seeing it at a social level. And we have all these different factions and groups of people that are agreeing and disagreeing and fighting and bickering. And it seems like acceptance and towing the line and not hurting people's feelings is winning. So it's not necessarily just fat acceptance. It's, oh, don't hurt that person's feelings. Just accept them for who they are and be nice. And that's dangerous because facts and truth hurts. A lot of times it hurts. A lot of times it's not nice. A lot of times it's not something that you want to have a discussion about. A lot of times it's not something that makes people feel good. Okay? Facts are facts. Facts are impartial. Facts do not have emotion around it. A fact is a fact. If this is a cup, this is a cup, whether you fucking like the fact that this is a cup or not. That's a fucking cup. You don't think it's a cup? Well, you can go fuck yourself because this is a fucking cup. It's not about your opinion whether or not it's a cup. It is what it is. This is this. If you don't want to call it a cup, it's this device thing that has liquid in it. That's what this is. This is a cup. And that's it. It's a fucking cup. Whether or not your opinion of it is a cup, it doesn't change what it is. Okay? And that's what we need to be more aware of. Facts versus this fiction and this narrative, the story. What is the story people are telling themselves? What's the story that your family is telling you? What's the story that you're discussing? What's the narrative of, I guess, the state of the union with your circle? Who are you surrounding yourself with? What kind of conversations are you having? What kind of language are people using? Are you restricted? Are you able to speak your mind? Do you have people around you that are kind of sliding down this rabbit hole where there aren't a lot of good options coming in the future? We're at a situation where this is something that is growing or getting a lot of, dare I say it, acceptance, but it's not what acceptance should be. It's not the right approach to acceptance. It's not the right way to go about acceptance. It's not the right mindset. Acceptance for who someone is as a person, allowing someone to express themselves, that's one type of acceptance. But a dangerous message is that it is okay to be extremely unhealthy, and this denial that there are going to be consequences. And these consequences affect all of us. These consequences affect all of us. When people are extremely obese and they have to go on, Medicaid and all these different things, who pays for it? The taxpayers, all of us. It's a burden on all of us. And not to say that these people are that's what the argument will be. that we're not a burden. We're people. We have right. Yeah, you have rights, but come on, stop promoting this false narrative against the facts. You can still be a valuable person. You can still be nice. You can still have a great personality. You can still fall in love. You can still think you're beautiful. Beautiful is subjective, but obesity is not subjective. Obesity has real life consequences, and they're fucking dire. So it's extremely important to address that and not be left in the dark and have a voice and make sure that voice is heard. So fam, tomorrow, Sunday Fun Day, Q and Anus, make sure you tune in, turn on your post notifications, and I will be flashing questions on the screen. We'll be doing as many questions as possible. So if there's any issues with the live stream, I will be giving you updates on how you can access it. But make sure that you follow on the Daily Swole podcast channel on YouTube, and of course, Swolenormous everywhere else. My main channel on YouTube, so Daily Swole podcast, one channel, Swolenormous the other, and Swolenormous everywhere else. And I will see you all tomorrow for 1164 for the Sunday Fun Day, Q and Anus, the most muscular Swolecast, Beardcast, Broadcast, Gamecast, Mancast, Pimpcast, Sleazecast, and Slaycast in Zarel. Because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you again to Daily Swole Club members and Swolenormous X members for being a part of the private community, enjoying the programs and the accountability, the nutrition, the yoga classes, yoga studio, and more. And for the Daily Swole Club members for supporting the podcast, helping keep this ad-free, and just being a part of the growth of all of this. So it's super exciting. Thank you all so much for being here. I'll see you tomorrow for 1164 for the Sunday Fun Day, Q and Anus. Peace, McGeese. Deuce, Magoose. Ya boy, Papa Swolio. Out.